Well, what a nightmare that was. Cyclone Gabriel beat the hell out of us last night, and honestly, it's been a couple of the toughest nights of my life. It's the second night in a row with no sleep, just worrying about the house. And to add to that, we had our own challenges here last night with the storms, which is kind of the culmination of a whole heap of problems we've been having with this place. So in this video, I'll give you the lowdown on our less than charming accommodation experience that we're facing right now here, and then let you know, I guess the question that's probably on everyone's mind is, did the house survive? If you've been following this series, you'll know that a couple of weeks ago, my wife, Sarah, Dylan, our dog, and I had to evacuate our home in the middle of the night because of a storm that caused slips down our property and our cliffside home. So, currently our house is clinging onto the side of a cliff. What we got next was horrendous news that a cyclone, a large, aggressive cyclone, was on its way off the east coast of Australia down to New Zealand. So, thanks, Australia. And that it was going to hit us in a few days. So Cyclone Gabriel arrived last night, really properly arrived last night, and kicked the crap out of Auckland and a lot of the North Island, basically from about 6 p.m. last night to about 5 a.m. This morning. And that's where things got really complicated for us. We were in here in our little unit watching TV when I felt a couple of drips of water on my arm. And when I looked up, there was obviously water coming in the ceiling, which is less than ideal. When I checked the rest of the house, so I just moved around and looked at the rest of the unit, I came into the bedroom, and just over there, about there, a whole heap of water was coming straight in on top of the bed, and it had gone through the duvet, through all of the sheets and protectors and stuff, and into the mattress. And yeah, it was not a nice scenario, and we didn't know. That was at the start of the evening, and we didn't know how much worse it was going to get. We knew we were in for a really long night. So we pushed the bed out of the way, we found a few buckets, and did our best at the time. We also packed some go bags in case we had to evacuate. And I can tell you now that being in an uncomfortable situation where you've been forced out of your home to being in a temporary place and then having to consider being forced out of that temporary home again, is, excuse the language here, it's a real mindfuck. It was a really challenging thing for us to deal with. It's obvious that this place has had leaks in the past, and while we'd asked the people here, is there anything we can do for the upcoming storm to help out, and they said no, it was clear that this place had leaked, and so some advice on be mindful of leaks and some buckets and anything would have been useful. It was the culmination of a number of bad experiences we've had with this place. And I think just given the duress we were under, it was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. So we try and keep, in general, a really positive attitude, and we're still trying to do that in the current circumstances. But the list of stuff that's gone wrong in this place is really starting to add up, and I'm not going to go into all of the detail. I think that'd be really negative, but I might throw a couple of pictures up just to kind of articulate how the culmination of little things has really started to frustrate us and get to us. We're only here for 10 more days, and then we get to move into a rental for a longer period of time, which is great. We're really looking forward to that. I think as well, we are still remarkably thankful that we have a place to be that didn't fall over yesterday, and that it is somewhat sound. A lot of people would have woken up this morning with destroyed homes, hurt or worse things, to their loved ones, and we're not in that situation. So I still, feel that we're in a good place, and we have a lot to be thankful for. The main question: did the house survive? For the moment, yes, the house survived. So the work we did on the downpipes was clearly working. When I went to check again this morning, it had distributed the rain in the right direction. There was a little bit of movement of the land directly underneath the house, and that is putting a bit more pressure on the piles for the house. But what I was expecting to find was a lot worse, so I was so glad to see the house still standing currently. We aren't out of the woods yet. There is a lot of wind, and the tail of the cyclone is long and aggressive, so we'll have to monitor it over the next few days. Now, I had planned on doing a bit of an update on the progress of our journey home through EQC and what's happened in that space, but today is Valentine's Day, and in the spirit of our civil emergency Valentines, we have dairy bought Valentine's Day cards and gas station ice cream that we need to eat. So I'll leave the video here and I'll leave those updates for the next video, and hopefully I get to see you in the next one.